Good morning students, welcome back to computer science class. Today here I am going to explain structured programming concept. What is a structured programming? Okay, what is the use of that and why we are learning that the topic in our syllabus, that I will explain today. Structured programming concept. Actually, it is a great revolution in the field of programming language. Why? Because using the structured programming concept, whatever programming is there, that program is organized in a particular structure so that can be executed very easily and it is very economical. And it is a great advancement in the field of programming language. Okay, here only one point is there, that is whatever programming is there, that total programming is organized in a particular structure, and in that structure only your program will be executed. Okay, so that is about programming, structured programming concept, right? Means first section 1, section 2, section 3, section 4, particular structure your program will be organized, and in the same structure your program will be executed. Okay, one particular structure will follow. Structured programming concept. So when you come to a structured programming concept, here we have some key points. The first one is programming process. It will efficiently do the programming process, because whatever programming is there, that program is divided into different modules. It will be organized properly. Okay, so that is why it indirectly it improves the programming process. Next, it will organize the total program into a different modules. Organization. First module, second module, third module, fourth module. Whatever programming is there, the total program is divided into a particular order. Okay. So techniques also, whatever techniques you have used, that also it arranged in a order. Organization of techniques. Next, it is easily debugged. Why it is easily debugged is, your program is organized in a particular order. In the same order, whatever errors are there, that will be verified. Okay, so debugged. What is a debugged? Already have explained. Whatever errors are there, finding a error in the program is nothing but the debugging process. Okay, so here it is easily debug the program, because whatever total program is there, that is organized, that is divided into parts. So it is easy for the programmer to find the errors. Okay, so easy of debugging. It is also one of the key point of structured programming concept. Next, top-down analysis. Whatever program is there, the total program is divided into different parts, and that parts are arranged, divided into different parts. Okay, top down. Root, main function, sub function. Again, the sub functions are divided into small functions. That is a top down approach. This structured programming concept follows the top down approach. The next, it is a modularization. Means whatever total program is there, that program is divided into smaller parts. That is nothing but the modules. Here small parts is nothing but the functions. The total programming concept is divided into sub-functions. That sub-functions are called as modules. So dividing the total program into different functions, that process is called as a modularization. Okay. Next and the last one is structured code for individual module. Means for in each and every module also, whatever code is there, that code is structured again. In that code, whatever program in that function, whatever code is there, that code is also arranged in a particular order. Okay, so these are the key points. What is a structured programming? In the structured programming, it is a programming only. It is a one type of programming. Here, whatever total programming code is there, that code is organized, is divided, and whatever parts are there, that are organized in a particular structure. Okay, so that it can be easily executed, and it is debugging process also very easy. Modularization. Okay, understood? So this is about the structured programming concept. Only one point whatever total programming is there, that program is divided into different parts, different functions, and each and every function is arranged in a particular order, organization, in order to improve the programming process, and it can be easily debugged. Okay, so this is about the introduction of structured programming concept. Again, this structured programming concept can be classified using the different ways that we'll discuss now. Now, here again, the structured programming concept is divided into 4 categories. First one is a top-down analysis, modular programming, structured code, process of programming. Okay, to take screenshot of this, I will explain each and every point. So, we'll discuss about the first category of structured programming concept, top-down analysis. Top-down analysis means whatever total programming is there, that total programming instructions are divided into different sections. Okay, actually what is a program? Program is a set of instructions which are written to solve a specific problem. So if it is a small program, it is easy to write and it is easy to execute. But if there is a complicated program, it is a large program, it is difficult to manage. In that case, what we'll do is whatever total programming is there, that program is divided into different parts, different sections. Okay, to solve the complex problem, and it is easily analyzed. Okay, whatever programming concept is there, that is easily analyzed by using this subdivisions. Okay, so in the structured programming concept, this top-down analysis is implemented. Okay, how it is implemented is whatever total instructions are there, that total instructions, the total functionality of the program is divided into subparts, and again that subparts can be divided into more subparts. Okay, this is called as a top-down analysis. Why we are dividing the total program into different parts is it is easy for the user to write and it is easy for the compiler to execute. Okay, debug. Okay, so in a top-down analysis, only one point is there. Whatever total programming instructions are there, that instructions are divided into different modules. Again, that modules are divided into sub-modules. So, what is the use of this? Using this top-down analysis, even complicated problems also solved very easily. Okay, so when you come to a top-down analysis, here we have some key points. Once we'll go through the key points. The first one is that define the complete scope of the problem. Means actually what is the problem? For what purpose you are writing a program? Okay, that is the first thing, first point. In that you need to verify, means what are the inputs in that and how that input should be processed into a required output and what is the expected output in that complicated programming. Okay, that is the first point. Complete scope. What is the problem? What are the inputs and how it should be processed and what should be the output? That things you should discuss in the top-down analysis, and that should be the first point. Now, second point, divide the problem into different parts. So, whatever total programming concept is there, whatever total programming is there, that total programming, instead of writing sequentially one by one, like 1,000 lines and all, whatever total programming concept is there, that total programming concept is divided into small parts. That small parts are called as modules, divisions. And the third one is, after dividing the total programming into different parts, clearly you should give the scope, means what is the scope of that function, what is the use of the function, and what are the input variables in that function, what is the output of that function, everything, what is the scope of that function, clearly you should mention. Okay, so like this, whatever total example, there is a total programming is there. The total program is divided into different parts and each and every part should be arranged sequentially. That is a structured programming concept. Okay, so under the structured programming concept, the first one is the top-down analysis. Here, whatever total program is there, that should be split into parts, divisions, modules. Again, that module should be divided into sub-modules. Example, you have an arithmetic function. Here, I'll give you an explanation about this. So I'm writing a program for a arithmetic logical operations. So program is arithmetic and logical operations, the main function. Again, it is divided into two sub functions, arithmetic and logical. Example. Arithmetic is again divided into sum, subtraction, multiplication and division. Again, this logic is divided into and, or, not like that. Okay, so this is called as a top-down analysis. If you have a program, instead of writing all the functions into one program, what we are doing in one function, whatever total program is that we are divided into parts. Okay, these are called as a modules and these are called as a sub-modules. Total program is divided into top-down analysis. It is easy. Arithmetic is again divided into arithmetic and logical, again divided into arithmetic and logical. Arithmetic is again divided into sum, subtraction, multiplication, division. If you want to perform only the addition, subtraction, just you can execute this function. You don't need to execute all the functions. You need to verify. If you want to make any changes to the addition, then just you will open this function and will modify here. If you have not divided the total program into different modules, what you have to do is complete structure you have to study. Okay, so instead of that, if you divide the total program into different parts, it is easy for the user to modify and it is easy for the user to debug if there is any error in the program. Okay, so this is about top-down analysis. Now we will discuss about the modular programming. So in the structured programming concept, the next category is the modular programming. Modular programming, actually what is a module? Whatever total programming is there, that total programming we are divided into different functions, different parts, and each and every part is called as a function, and function is also called as a module. Okay, modular programming means whatever programming is there, the total program is divided into different sections and each and every section is called as a module. Okay, why we are dividing into a module? Because when you divide the problem into a different modules, it is easy for the programmer to write, compile and execute. And if error correction is also very easy. If you have any error in the particular module, only that particular module will be verified, not all the modules. In that way, it will increase the performance of the program. When you come to a modular programming, here we have some key points. First one is logically independent sections. Logically independent sections. Whatever total program is there, that program is divided into independent sections. Each and every section is called as a module. Okay. Now, modular consists of series of instructions. Each and every module, whatever sub-function, subsection is there, each and every section consists of different statements, different variables, different instructions which has to be executed from that module. Okay. The next one is module should have a unique name. Example, in the previous example, what I have explained, arithmetic and logical. Again, arithmetic is divided into arithmetic and logical is divided into arithmetic and next logical. So whatever this module name is there, that name should be unique. Means in the same program should not have a more than one module with the same name. Every module should have a unique name. And when you come to a module, each and every module should have one entry and one exit. Okay, so that is also key point. It should have only one entry point and one exit point, and every module should give some output because we have written a module to give some result. So every module should produce some output. Okay, so modular programming is nothing but whatever total functionality is there, whatever total programming is there, that program is divided into different parts. Okay, and each and every part is consist of different steps. And whatever name you have given to that part, that should be unique, and it should have a one entry point and one exit point, and it should give some output to the program. Okay, so in this, here arithmetic and logic is a modules. Here from this, actually what is the use of this arithmetic? This module will perform all the arithmetic operations and this module will perform all the logical functions. And arithmetic is again divided into four, sum, addition, subtraction, multiplication and division. Addition will give the addition. Okay, it means sum of two numbers. Next, subtraction, it will subtract one number from another number. It is performing some function. Okay, here also So if it is addition means what? It should give sum of two numbers. Means it is giving some output to the programming. Okay, yes or no? So if it is a function, it is a module. That module should have a unique name, only one entry and one exit, and it should give some output back to the program. Clear? Here the modular programming is nothing but whatever total program is there, that total program is divided into different sections, different parts. Each and every part is called as a module, and each module is module means it will perform some action. Okay, understood? This is the modular programming. Now we'll discuss about the next category of structured programming. Now the next category of structured programming is structured code. So this actually is a final stage. Here after the this modularization top-down analysis, here we'll come to a programming code. In this phase, whatever total program is there, for that program, we'll write the programming code here. We'll write the program here. Okay, user will write the program. Okay, so when he is writing a program, in different programming languages, we have some structural control statements. So he has to write programming using some structural control statements like conditions, loops, arrays, structure, different concepts. Different control statements. Actually, control statements, so there are only two control statements. One is a decision making statements, the second one is a looping. Using means the user has to implement that two concept in the programming in order to increase the efficiency of the programming. Okay, so structured programming here, structured programming is nothing but implementing coding inside the program. Just writing a program is called as a structured code. So when the user is coming to this stage means the user has to write the programming code for this. So under this the key points are is use of structured code, and it is a method of coding. Here what we are doing, we are writing a programming code. Okay. Next this programming code is inside of this programming code we are using a structural control statement. Structural control statement means decision making statements, loops. In the coming topics, I will explain what are the decision making statements and what are the loops. Okay, only one point you need to remember here is, here the user is writing a programming, using a programming languages, using any high level programming language. And when he is writing a high level programming languages, he has to use some structural concepts, structural control concepts, that are decision making statements and loops. Okay, in the coming topics, I will explain that. Now the last one is the process of programming. Now the last concept of structured programming is the process of programming. So when the user writing a program, it is not only job of the user to write the program, he has to perform some jobs while writing and execute the program. So whenever he got the program, so first what he has to do is, understand the program is what is the problem actually. Say example, I said you to write a program of sum of two numbers. What is the problem actually there? You need to calculate sum of two numbers. That is a problem. And next, think the logic. What is the logic there? How you will calculate sum of two numbers? We'll write an expression like this. C equals to A plus B. This is the logic here. Okay. Next, after thinking the logic, the next one is write the program. Okay, you need to write the program. After finding the logic, what he has to do? He has to write the program. After writing the program, whatever program is there, that should be translated into a machine language, because the machine will understand only the machine language. So in whichever language you have written the program, that should be converted into a machine language. After converting into a machine language, he has to test the program. Means that program is designed according to the expected output or not. Next, after if this program is designed according to the expected output, again that should be implemented. Okay, right? This is about the process of programming. So whenever the user is writing any program, what he has to think is blindly he won't write the program. Before writing a program, what he has to actually, what is the problem, and what is the logic, how to write the program. If the logic is there, logic is understood, how to write the program, he understood. Next, what he has to do, he has to write the program. Next, he has to execute the program into machine language. So whatever output he got, that should test with the required. Next, if it is up to the means it is according to the user requirement, then that will be implemented. Okay, so this is about structured programming concept. Okay, why we are learning this subject is, this topic is because whatever C programming you are going to learn, that is based on the structured programming. So in the C programming also whatever program is there, that total program is divided into sections, modules, and each module is dependent on another module. Okay, and one module is dependent on another one, and means from one module we'll call the another module. Only one concept here, the total program is there, that is divided into different sections. Each and every section is called as a module. Okay, and each module is designed to execute some code to perform a specific task, and each and every module is arranged properly. There is nothing but the organization, structured organization. Understood? So that is why we are learning this concept. Your C programming, however you are writing a programming, however you are arranging a module, that is based on the structured programming. C programming is a truly structured programming concept. So that is why here, before starting C programming, I am explaining what is a structured programming concept. Okay, so that it is easy for you to understand C programming. Okay, what is a structured programming concept? In a structured programming concept, whatever total programming is there, that total program is divided into different functions. Each function is written to perform a specific task. That functions are only called as a modules, sub-modules. Okay, the main function is divided into sub-function. Again, sub-function can be divided into more functions. Okay, so with this, theory part is over. From next class, in the next video, I will start the C programming. Okay.